Hello, everyone. Let's call this meeting to order. Would you all like to rise for the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Barry told me he wasn't coming today, so I don't know what the occasion was, so we don't have to wait for him to set up. All right, a couple of announcements. On August 5th, the Board of Supervisors met in executive session to discuss personnel matters, in specific, the chief of police and township secretary positions. I did want to just publicly make mention of two things. One was I want to thank our public works guys for putting the, what do we call that?
Curtain.
The curtain in front of our desk to make us look a little more professional, and you don't have to watch all of our footwear. So that's nice. They did a good job with that. And also when you walk out, you probably didn't notice it when you came in, but when you walk out, look up and look at the beautiful stained glass that was donated to us by Jim Dulcimore, one of our township residents. Did you want to explain a little bit more about that, Tommy?
Jim offered to donate some of his art to the township, and over the last several weeks was working on the panel that was installed earlier today. He worked on this panel for an estimated 900 hours. It includes material that was obtained from a factory, one of the last ones, I think the last one in the world, that supports Tiffany reproductions and repairs. Just outside Pittsburgh, but also some material from Germany and some material from Portland, Oregon, all coming together for the panel that you see above the front door.
Wow.
A lot of talent there. Beautiful.
Kudos for him. That's great.
And also, I do want to mention that we are being recorded for rebroadcast as well. So I would like to just switch it up a little bit and let Sergeant Russell come on up first so that we can get you back to work. So you don't have to stand in the back here.
Hello, I have the 2025 July monthly report for the Westminster Township Police Department. We had training of firearms, 159 calls for service, 8 crimes investigated, 1 arrest for simple assault, 34 traffic stops, and 7 accidents investigated.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And then we can move to public comment. Again, we're trying this format where you have an opportunity to come up and comment on anything that is an agenda item, and as many of the agenda items as you like. And you would like to come up, anyone, please feel free.
John Eldridge, 1634 Hilltop Road. Again, I'm going to comment on the income and loss for the month, which I think the township should. So the loss for the month in the general fund was $54,000. Our year-to-date income for all combining all funds is still is 1.4 million. So we're doing well there. Some of the things that happened, I guess they closed out the sewer fund, which I had always objected to them sending a check for that, but they sent a check for the full amount, all of the interest we earned over the years. And, so apparently that fund closed. They also did a transfer from the Citadel credit card account back to the general fund. And I sort of question why they do that, or why it's handled that way. Anyway, that's all.
Thank you. Anyone else have any public comments about the coming agenda? No? Okay. I'll see none. Let's move on to the monthly reports, which we do have the police department, fire company and EMS, and Ludwig's was not on the, we didn't receive one from Ludwig's. I don't know if anyone wants to come up and talk about that, but the finance department, public works department, and building and zoning department, those are all on our website. If anyone has any questions about those, feel free to let us know. Mhm.
The fire company. But they have nothing to report.
Well, they might.
Have no report for the fire company?
Okay.
I don't care what you do.
No, you've already posted it, right? You posted it. So if anyone has any questions at all for fire EMS, let us know. Okay. Thank you very much for being here. And let's move on to our action items. We need a motion for the monthly reports as were presented.
I make a motion to approve the monthly reports as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We also need a motion to approve the July 7th meeting minutes and the July 21st meeting minutes. I believe we did not approve the one. There was a misprint in that on a date. So we opted to hold them both for this month.
I make a motion to approve July 7 and July 21 minutes for the meeting as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And a motion for awarding Jim Wendelgas as our township secretary. I guess we need to do that one, right?
Make a motion to approve Jim Whittaker as our township.
And I will second it unless you're going to object.
No.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is a non-paid position, everyone. Don't get too excited for John. And also we have expenditure approval and ratification. I can read this off. To ratify payroll dated July 30th for pay period July 14th to July 27th in the amount of $75,107.12. Payroll dated August 13th for pay period July 28th to August 10th in the amount of $90,203.46. General fund list of bills dated July 22nd, August 18th in the amount of $268,258.44. Open space fund list of bills dated July 22nd to August 18th in the amount of $16,719.88. Sewer fund list of bills dated July 22nd to August 18th in the amount of $89.46. Capital Road Fund list of bills dated July 22nd to August 18th in the amount of $9,992.50. Capital Equipment Fund list of bills dated July 22nd to August 18th in the amount of $39,350. ARPA Fund list of bills dated July 22 to August 18th in the amount of $492, and that closed that account. Liquid Fuels Fund list of bills dated July 22nd to August 18th in the amount of $295,050.81. Escrow Fund list of bills dated July 22nd to August 18th in the amount of $10,677.54. And Citadel Fund list of bills dated June 16th to July 21st in the amount of $39,000. I think that is all of our expenditures.
Make a motion to approve the expenditures as printed.
You want to say that again?
Well,
I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay. And that's really all the business for today. Are there any other comments, public comments on non-agenda items? Anyone like to come up?
I have some comments about the open space program and what we can do with it. It seems to me like it's headed in the wrong direction. there's a candidate property evaluation worksheet, which I think you've seen. The first item it says, is the landowner eligible and willing to have a package deal to include a conservation easement, trail easement, charitable donation, etc. None of those are in our open space program. It just doesn't cover any of that. And so I don't know why it's here, but I think the way that committee is going is to work with conservation easements. Which would probably wind up with French and Pick. I question further whether we could use open space money to pay for conservation projects. In other words, if this committee is going in the direction thinking we're going to pay for all this, maybe we won't. I don't know. Somebody has to determine if open space money can go for conservation. Normally it can't, maybe combined with all this, it can. Any comments so far?
Well, I mean, I'd like to say that, yes, it can be used for that, but what you're referring to, I believe, is a memo from the chair of their committee regarding what they would like to see be part of our open space program. It is in no way been voted upon by this board.
No way, what?
It has no way been voted upon by this board at this point to go forward with what they put forward. They put forward everything that they would like to have, but that was not, I mean, you know, Jim's the chair of that committee. He's there. I wasn't at the last one. I don't know where they've gone with it, but we've never gotten together as a group to discuss
That's
their
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
comments.
And your first question or comment on the categories used to rank properties. I mean, that's been in that listing forever. And the reason it's there is because there's been an effort by supervisors long before the people sitting up here right now to get the people who are conserving their properties to, if possible, get grants, make their own contributions. And if they do that, they get ranked higher than people who are unwilling to do that. That's really what that represents. So it's a mechanism where the township tries to get funds other than township funds to help pay for the preservation of open space in the township.
Okay, well, I would be opposed to it, and I got TDR money, so I somehow I wouldn't be able, I'd be zero in that category.
That's correct. It doesn't mean that you can't still get funds. It means that it is something that's been in the ranking criteria for a long time. And I believe when I was chair of the Open Space Committee, we reduced the amount that counted for. Because I believe it used to account for a huge portion of the ranking. And my recollection is we reduced that. But it doesn't mean that if you don't get any of the credit for that category, that you're still gonna not be ranked high enough to get township open space funds.
Okay, it just seems to me that I would be opposed. I would read item 1 and say, well, maybe that's not for me, and it doesn't represent open space funds.
Well, it represents open space funds, but from other sources.
Other sources.
Yes, as opposed to the township. And I think that it just means the township is being a good steward of its open space funds to see if they can get the landowner to make a contribution, or they can get French and, they can get the county to make a contribution. I know the state is now much more difficult than it was, but I think it was an effort to make sure that if possible, people would look to other sources other than just the township as a source of funds. That's all.
But and the purpose of the program, for instance, is open space, and versus a French and pick type easement. And so,
I would disagree with you there. If you read the statutory language, I think it's pretty clear that conservation easement, that the township can use open space funds to help obtain conservation easements. And I know every other township in this area, that's what they use their open space funds for. There aren't that many that buy TDRs. But there are lots of townships who use open space funds to help defray the cost of a conservation easement.
And the easement actually helps preserve the environment more than anything. I mean, because there's a lot more restrictions on the landowner in that regard, whereas the TDRs, the only thing they're saying is you can't put a house. You can do anything else you want. You can clear cut it. You can, do all sorts of things to your land, but can't put a house. So that's what the TDR allows for.
if the purpose is open space, I have these TDRs. I got paid 12 acres. I got $126,000. If it had been on an easement, it would have cost me $60,000. So there on my little 12-acre piece, we're talking $180,000. Now, I think if you want people to have open space, that's quite an incentive. And it doesn't come up anywhere by the Open Space Committee.
From what I heard, what their recommendation was to make it easier for people to do an easement that it wouldn't be as big of a burden on the landowner to do the easement. That what you're saying, like when you look at it, you're like, okay, if I'm willing to live with these restrictions, they're going to take some of these financial barriers away by the township picking up. So that was the argument I heard.
Yes.
Again, this has not been fully vetted and decided. We're looking at the different sides of it. One thing you're reminding me is that, we have such wonderful things to talk about in this township, and we haven't mentioned yet about 17 years, which is 78 acres that we just got county matching money to preserve as an easement in our township. And that's, really very, very exciting. So, easements are great. TDRs are great.
That's all.
But we appreciate where you're coming from. Thanks. Anyone else have any comments? Questions? No. Yes, no. Okay. All right. Well, does someone want to? I guess next meeting will be Tuesday, September 2nd at the Township Building, and that will that's not one of our regular meetings, so make sure everyone knows about that. And that is for conditional use for Toll Brothers, the Bennett property. Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out.